Welcome, legend. In this lesson, we are going to explore the essentiality of audience mastery. I want you to escape the battle, the stress, the pressures of ROI so you can focus on what really matters, and that's making massive impact. That's my goal. Let's dive in. Let's start with a story. A few years back, I was engaged to run the marketing department of a supplements company. There's a bit more to it than that, but we'll focus on that. They had three large stockists that they were kind of beholden to. And if you've dealt with large stockists, you know that the payment period is kind of shitty and the margins are very small. So they were struggling because they had a goal to increase their direct-to-market channel, their website and digital, to build a strong income stream that would balance out that and actually dominate their whole market. And it wasn't working. So they had two buyer personas. They had detailed these profiles, they'd given them names, they'd given them photos, even to the lengths of having full-size cardboard cutouts for the boardroom, for the office, so they could know who they're marketing to. And in theory, that sounds good. But again, marketing was not performing, and people were losing their jobs because they weren't able to hit the targets. So naturally, when I came on board, our team scratched the surface of these personas to see where they came from, where they originated. And we discovered that what they had were what we call Frankenstein personas. So Frankenstein personas are a mishmash of wishes and assumptions, essentially body parts of characters mashed together to create a character which is fictional. Now, of course, if you create a monster like this and you try and market to it, you're actually marketing to nobody because this person doesn't exist. That's why we call it a Frankenstein. So aiming marketing at this doesn't work. And of course, that's going to mean no ROI, or in their case, very hit and miss marketing. And not only were they not performing, right? So they weren't getting results on their ad spend and their digital. Good people were losing their jobs because they were told that they had to market to these characters. And that's what their performance targets were built around. So they were set up to fail. Now, the good news for this client is that with our audience mastery work, we were able to identify two real buyers. Now, listen to this. These buyers consumed a range of their products and on average 6 servings a day. How amazing is that? Now, of course they want more of that, but they weren't marketing to these people. And the other side of this, they were diametrically opposed, the complete opposite to what they were marketing to. So no wonder they weren't getting the results that they were aiming for. So the good news for you is that the same process we went through with them to find their real buyers, you'll be doing that in this program. So you'll have the ultimate buyers and you'll be able to kill all the Frankensteins for your business. So no more Frankensteins, right? Say that with me. No more Frankensteins. So marketing is storytelling. And there are 3 components to effective storytelling. Of course, there is the storyteller, that's you, your brand. Then there's the story itself, which is another topic, and we're going to kind of touch on it in this program. And then the third essential is the audience for the story. And without the right audience, or without an audience, there's no storytelling. It's just you talking to yourself, which is a bit crazy. So to get the most out of this program, let's start with a very simple belief, a basic rule when it comes to audience. And that is, there's only ever one person hearing, seeing, reading your message, consuming your message at a time. And that is even when you're speaking to a crowd. Only ever 2 eyes, 2 ears, right? So none of this, you guys or all of you, it's speak to the individual, because even in a crowd, you're speaking to individuals, just millions of them at once if you've got a million strong audience. That's the first thing I want to get, because we want this for you. This is success. That individual hanging on your every word, itching to take the next step with you, take that action that you want, regardless of what that is. And that's what we want for you. And can you imagine your audience completely engaged with your messaging? That's what we want. And even it could be two people side by side, but they are enthralled because you're speaking to them, right? Now, speaking of journey, right, because this is the thing, you've got to be with them at every stage of that journey. Intimately knowing your audience's buying journey means you can be there for them at every step of that journey with just the right message at the right level of awareness, so that it makes you the obvious choice. So we're going to get you very familiar with this. It's blank now, but it will be fully detailed, and the steps are going to be provided in one of the later lessons so that you're able to create the ultimate buying journey for each of your audiences. So we're going to nail that part. There is also something on storytelling. I talked about that, the essentials. So you're the brand, the story, and then the audience. So let's touch on the story itself, because that's vital and it's kind of connected to you as the storyteller. So I want to introduce you to this. This is our model, our new model for brand success today. It is our electromagnetic brands foundation framework. And while we're only going to touch on it lightly, it is important for you to understand so that you can start thinking of your audience through this lens, through these lenses, right? In fact, audience mastery is actually the first piece of our electromagnetic brand masterclass. So it's an essential to understand your audience in order to deliver on this. So we'll go into these a little bit deeper soon, but I wanted to talk about this part of it. We see brand today as this model is your culture, is your how you operate, and your impact is your why. And they're fused together as the nucleus of your brand. And when that is strong and clearly articulated, then your storytelling can ripple out through everything you create. And that's how you become an electromagnet for the right people. And we'll go into that in more depth soon. So let's have a quick overview of the program so you can understand what we're going to be doing together. The first thing is we're going to go through the introduction, which is what we're doing now, so you understand the program. Second is identifying and prioritizing audiences. That's going to make a whole lot of sense really soon. The third is real persona development. Remember, no Frankensteins, actual buyers. Then we're going to understand the customer journey, so we can be there with the right level of awareness and the right message and the right action at the right time. Then we're going to look at how do we pull it all together, develop an action plan so you can achieve this successfully. I want you to have the ultimate result from this, so you can, again, shatter that whole pressure of ROI for your marketing because you've nailed it and focus on what matters, which is creating real impact in the world. So now, I want to take a moment to thank you. You might not actually know this, but part of every dollar you spend with us goes towards our Double the Goodness grant. And that is instrumental in helping us create massive impact in the world. This grant is to fund cash-strapped impact organizations and businesses, whether they're startups, social enterprises, or not-for-profits, that also need our help to nail their branding so they can create greater good in the world. Because our goal is to help all brands be good for the world, regardless of whether they can afford our full fare or not. So you've been instrumental in helping us provide this support to brands that really need our help. For instance, it's part of the funds that you've been investing in us have gone towards the work we do with a women and girls emergency accommodation shelter in Sydney. Now, the good work that we've been able to help them achieve is to rebrand and refresh to generate more funding to be able to help more girls and women be stably homed. So thank you for being a part of it. And feel good because you're actually doing good by choosing us. So thank you again. Now, just to recap this first intro, and there will be these recaps in each lesson, what are the things that we need to take away, the key concepts from this lesson? First is you have to kill all Frankensteins. You have to. They're dangerous for business. And not because they're just monsters, but dangerous to your ROI and actually your role as a marketer. You understand the essentiality of audience. Without it, you don't have any marketing. You're only ever speaking to one person at a time, regardless of whether you've got millions in front of you. And your success in storytelling also means culture and impact infused in your storytelling. And we're going to get deeper into that. So that wraps up this lesson. Next up, we will be exploring the 5 common mistakes that businesses make when it comes to audience. See you then.